What up, YouTube? It's your boy Darius. What we're about to do is we're about to react to every Beatles album ranked worst to best by the Waterloo Watermelon. So, we already did like JTC Curtis. Shout out to you, bro. Um, so what we're gonna do? We're going to react to every Beatles album ranked worst to best. We all have our different opinion about the Beatles. We all know that one thing for sure, Yellow Submarine should always count as the Beatles' worst album. That's obvious. But as far as the best, everyone had different opinion. It's like like someone said, it says a lot about a person what their favorite Beatles album, what their favorite Beatles album is. My personal favorite Beatles album is the Revolver. I think that is like I think their creative peak. That's where they were experimental, and that's when they were and that one that was just it was like a perfect bridge between the pop Beatles and the classic rock Beatles, if that makes sense, in my opinion. While I still experimented with psychedelic avant-garde, I think that's how you pronounce it, soul, garage rock, and even children music with Yellow Submarine. But that's just my opinion. Let's see what he thinks it's from the worst to best Beatles. Well, he thinks it's the best Beatles album of all time. So let's get to it.
Okay, they were great, but they're all dead.
Well, Troy Harrison is dead, so is John Lennon.
Look, a lot of videos take a long time to get to the point. But come on, you know why you clicked on this video.
I do.
You read the title, you saw the thumbnail.
You
want to hear some rando stranger rant about the
hecking
Beatles for 12 and a half minutes. So why don't we cut the crap and just jump into said ranting?
Hell
and that,
yeah.
my friends, is how you make an excuse to not write an intro. Anyway, let's go. 13.
Yellow Submarine.
Obviously.
Yellow Submarine. Don't even get me started on this album. First of all, Side 2 was literally just the instrumental soundtrack from the movie. As for Side 1, it featured 2 previously released singles, 2 previously unreleased George Harrison songs, because the band said they weren't good enough, for good reasons. One song Paul McCartney used to sing at family gatherings, and only one new song, which also...
It's funny with Yellow Submarine, it's like, what, in my opinion, what they should have done, they should have stick with the original plan, which was release an EP, which would include those 4 new songs and Across the Universe. And I think that would have ranked even higher. It probably would have ranked them on one of their best EP besides Magical Mystery Tour, which was of course a UK thing. But I guess here in the US, that's not the way to go. So they had to add George Martin's score, which is not bad, but it's not a Beatles album. We get what I'm saying? Not a Beatles song. So it's like
happens to be awesome. Yeah, tabled up, by the way.
And besides, I like when we know the song.
Beatles for Sale. Look,
That's
take
when
Beatles
they were
for Sale
tired.
over Yellow Submarine any day. It's just that much better.
It
Beatles
is.
for Sale still had a lot of filler songs. I mean, yeah, it's got a few good songs, 8 days a week included, but the rest is...
I mean, yeah, it was okay.
11.
See, with Beatles for Sale, that's when they were tired. They were they were constantly touring. So they didn't have enough energy to write all them songs, so that's why they keep covering the song. And this was after they released A Hard Day's Night, so it makes sense.
Ringo. Ringo is a bit infamous for being the lamest of the Beatles. I mean, obviously Ringo fans exist. In fact, he was my favorite Beatle at one point, but come on. He's the worst singer, worst writer, the last to join the group, and he has a big nose.
Okay, what's wrong
Sorry,
with
that one was low. Don't make fun of people's noses. Anyway, it's pretty common knowledge that Beatles fans place Ringo below the rest of the Beatles.
I don't think that's fair.
The Beatles themselves also
No. We ain't go let the Ringo diss slide. No. A lot of people say, well, Ringo should be glad that he joined the Beatles. No, on contrary, the Beatles should be glad that they have Ringo, because when they had Pete Best, it's like something was missing. Something was. It's Pete Best. He was good, and I'm sure he was a nice. I don't know the guy personally, but he just didn't fit in with the other guys. With Ringo Starr fit in, joined the group, he fit in with those 3 other guys perfectly. So even though John, Paul, and George, they were more experienced, the Beatles would not have been the Beatles without Ringo Starr. Cut the bullshit that Ringo should be glad that he joined the Beatles. No, the Beatles should be glad that they have Ringo, because without Ringo, the Beatles would not be the Beatles. So it's like all members have a part to play when it comes to the Beatles. But let's get to it. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Literally. Seriously, look at the album cover of With the Beatles. It's like, yeah, that's John. George right here. Okay, good. Paul, very good, very good. And then Ringo's just like down here for no reason. Why do they literally put Ringo below?
Look at it this way. At least he got his own spot, though. Look at it this way. But let's get to the damn album.
What do they have against my cheeky boy? I looked into it, and apparently they put Ringo lower because he was the last to join, and because he was the shortest? What? What kind of BS reason is that? You know what I think?
5'7".
I think the photographer just had something against Ringo. Maybe he was jealous of Ringo's thick nose or something. I don't know. So when shooting, he was all like, "Okay, Ringo, I'm gonna need you to step a little more to the left."
What did it have to do with the album?
Yes. Just a little more.
Yes,
Or to the left. Just a tad more. Okay, perfect. And then, I don't know, they just like photoshopped Ringo in post or something and ran out of space on eye level. So I guess everybody truly hates Ringo. But
I don't.
He wrote a song about octopi, so I forgive him. Number 10. Oh,
okay.
Damn it. I forgot to actually talk about With the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah! Here's my opinion. Sped up. Just replay the message in your mind 25% slower. Anyway, now we can move on. 10.
I ain't gonna do all that.
What a great finale to the Beatles. Maybe not the best of the bunch, but a lot of the songs here really define who the Beatles were. Let It Be, Get Back, Across. What is all this door slamming? Everyone just leave. Hi.
Hello.
It's a lot of door slamming, and it's really pissing me off.
Well, I'm about to open the doors again.
Don't do it! Okay, do it. But you better not come back.
Well, I will be coming back. I'll make it quick.
Okay, I'm sorry for that drama. Let's get back to the rate. Across the Universe. The album had a lot of solid tracks. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I find The Long and Winding Road to be incredibly boring.
I agree. I will say this: that they should have never released that song at the very last song. I feel like "Let It Be" was more of a perfect final song, final single of the Beatles, in my opinion. It perfectly fits. But the Long Winding Road, it's just in my opinion, but
sorry, Winding Road fans. It's just, I mean, I can't be the only one, right? It's boring, right? No. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Magical Mystery Tour.
The Magical Mystery Tour. 8. Help. Fun fact about it. The flag symbols the Beatles formed don't actually spell out the word.
That's true.
The UK release spells out Nujv.
So he's not going to talk about Magical Mystery Tour. So, like, I mean, I know it's not really a true album, but it's like the only U.S. album that made it to the 1987 CD, 1987 CD catalog, something like that. But it's so in a way, it does count. It still counts at the true Beatles album, in a way. And besides, that album has "Strawberry Fields Forever," one of the greatest Beatles songs of all time. I ain't not talk about that. But let's talk about Help.
Fudge isn't Help. It's Navudge. Help. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. No! I said no! Anyway, basically, Help is a solid album. Shout out to I've Just Seen a Face. It's the best song on here. But feel free to argue against me in the comments. I'm actually pretty curious about your opinions. 7. Hard Day's Night.
Okay, yes, I do
Hard
rate
Day's
this
Night
over
before I even knew who the Beatles were. I just recall being a 7-year-old and singing it while playing Tony Hawk's Underground on GameCube. Well, playing. Really, as soon as I learned you could pick up your board and walk from location to location in the game, that's all I did. Anyway, I believe this is the first Beatles album to feature no cover songs. Yeah, 100% authentic Beatles original approved music right here. Unfortunately, though, because of this lack of covers, there are a couple filler songs, but this is still a great album overall. 6. Please Please Me. I think the Beatles' first album is a bit underrated, but it's actually one of my favorites. In fact, I think I would go as far as to say that Please Please Me is my 6th favorite album by the Beatles of all time.
Well, it's your list, so...
Crazy, I know. Anyway, what's impressive about this album is that it was all recorded in one day. That's like crazy fast,
12
especially for
hours.
how good the album is. So, to respect that legacy, I have decided to record my own album all in one day as a tribute. And by one day, I mean 10 minutes. And it's just one song. And it's a cover. And it's all a cappella, but under karaoke instrumental. And it's sung by a robot.
Bum 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 tack tack tack. Don't think blue moon blue moon do da do moon blue moon do da do.
Thank you. That was Blue Moon. 5. Rubber Soul.
Okay.
Rubber Soul actually flew under my radar as a Beatles fan for a long time. Like, I think it took me 2 years of frequent Beatles listening before I gave it any attention. I was just talking about the Beatles with my friendo, Maida Panane, in the middle of class one day, and I was like, "Hey, Maida, what's your favorite Beatles album?" And he said,
It's Rubber Soul, you nerd.
Naturally, I was like, "Oh, I've never actually heard that one." He obviously didn't like that and gave me his best Luigi death stare, so I decided to give it a listen that night, and drum roll, please.
It was.
Yeah, honestly,
It's a great
what did
album.
you expect? 4. Revolver.
Okay,
The
that should
Beatles
be higher,
themselves
but
like to
hey,
call this
that's
the
usual.
part 2 to Rubber Soul, but I disagree. Revolver is way better. It's just so
Not way better, but-
experimental. There's so much diversity here. Like,
Yeah, I
seriously,
agree.
this album has this,
Text Man.
this, and this.
Tomorrow
All
never
in one
knows.
package. Revolver is more than just a collection of singles. It's an experience.
Yeah, it was.
3. The White Album. Normally, I'm not a fan of these 2-record style longer albums. The longer length usually leads to more filler and a generally
that's true.
dreadfully drawn out experience. That's a real tongue twister. However, the White Album and London Calling is an exception to this rule. I
London
love
Calling is so
the White
overrated.
Album, with Rocky Raccoon, Back in the USSR, Blackbird, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Helter Skelter. Yes, it's also
Helter
good. 10
Skelter,
John
I
Lennon
love that.
stealing milk out of 10. 2. Sgt. Pepper's.
Really?
All is Dead confirmed. No, I'm just kidding. If you've ever seen Rolling Stone magazine's 500 greatest albums of
I would
all
put that
time,
number
you know
one.
that this
Not
one is
anymore.
ranked as number 1, and for good reasons.
It
There are
is.
a lot of solid songs on here, and more importantly, they flow into one another. But guess what? It's not number 1 on my list. Ha!
I know.
I really like the story behind Sgt. Pepper's, though. After
I
the
do
Beatles
too.
released Revolver, yes, that Revolver, the one we just talked about, the Beach Boys were like, hey, this is good. And they were inspired to make their album, Pet Sounds. Then the Beatles heard Pet Sounds and were like, hey, this is good. And they were inspired to make Sgt. Pepper's. Who knew the Beatles and the Beach Boys were such fans of competitive ping pong? What's even cooler about this story is that Rolling Stone magazine rates Sgt. Pepper's as the best album of all time, Pet Sounds is the second best album of all time, and Revolver is the third best album of all time. So
Mhm.
apparently this game of inspiration ping pong paid off. 1. Abbey
And you know
Road.
what? Every Roll is on everyone.
Elephant in the Room.
Every Roll is on everyone's favorite album list. Not like Every Roll is my third favorite album, but I cannot deny why it's on everyone's favorite album list. But I hear what you have to
This
say.
is not Sgt. Pepper's. I realize that Sgt. Pepper's is the most common album by the Beatles to be ranked number 1,
Hey, most
so I
important.
apologize for having an opinion. This is the first
No,
Beatles
don't
album I've
apologize.
ever
It's
listened
your
to,
list.
and it changed everything. Back when I was in junior high, before I heard Abbey Road, you want to know what I listened to? You want to
Abbey
know?
Road.
Yeah, this album changed who I was. Not only did it get me into the Beatles, it got me into music that's not... Ugh, I'm so disappointed in my past self. Anyway, my dad just brought this album home on vinyl one day, and then this happened. What is this? This is so much more. It was the Beatles. Anyway, the best part about Abbey Road is side 2.
The
Side 2 of
medley, I
Abbey
love
Road
the
took that
medley.
delicious flow of Sgt. Pepper's and did it for 9 songs in a row.
They
The Abbey
did.
Road medley, that's what the 9 songs are called, took all of these little ideas for songs that the Beatles had left floating around, and they did a little bit, keep up here, a little bit of this. Now, do I have a bias on Abbey Road because it's the first Beatles album I've heard? Yes. Does that make me a prejudiced, disgusting person? Also, yes. Thanks for watching the video incomplete. I realize the community of my channel is pretty small at this point, but I would really appreciate if you supported this starving channel with a like and subscribe. I plan on posting more videos like this one in the future, so if you have any ideas, please, by God, let me know.
All right, this was actually not bad. The list itself was not bad. It's different. It's more diversified and everything. It's just that he didn't really go on some albums like Magical Mystery Tour or with the Beatles. It's just like he more so clown on Ringo Starr, which I had to explain again. Ringo was basically the main the last piece of the puzzle of why the Beatles became successful. Because any other drummer like Pete Best, they weren't gonna go for it. But I digress. What do you guys think, you guys? What is your favorite Beatles album? With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the boy, and comment down below. You can watch my previous Beatles list by Shay T.C. Curtis. I want to give a shout out to Waterloo Watermelon for letting me react to his video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and rock and roll.